Do I want the Pistons to have the best odds at number one? I do, but I'm also not going to be mad at Sadiq Bey and Killian Hayes and Kate Cunningham for going out there and winning games because that's still what they're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to show growth and they're trying to fight till the end. So if those guys perform well enough that the Pistons end up stealing a game from the Sixers like they did the other night, I can't be mad at that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what I want from my young players ultimately, right? Is to show up in these games and beat some of these teams and just play well and grow and improve throughout the season. So it would be nice to be in that bottom three. It's really like a 4-team race, and I think Portland's probably out of there already, like mathematically, or they'd have to have some real luck to do that.
Definitely out of it. They're 7 games above Houston, so there's no way they're getting to the bottom 3 when there's only 2 games left, and they're 4 games above us. So Houston's out of it, but Indiana, they're 2 games worse, 2 games better than us. So
there's 2 games left though.
Yeah, right. So if we win the last 2 and they lose the last 2, there might be a tiebreaker thing where we get screwed.
If we win the last 2 games, then I might feel a little bit different. But it's you got to hope some of these other teams win, and you got to hope we really OKC, right? That's the one that we're fighting with to get in that last, that bottom 3rd spot. We're not going to drop behind Orlando or Houston. So really, if you're a Pistons fan, just if you're going to be box score watching the NBA, you should be doing that for the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are just brazenly tanking even worse than the Pistons are. And hopefully the basketball gods don't reward them.
Yeah, so I mean, good news for Pistons fans. We have the Bucks Friday night. Don't think the Pistons are winning that game. Meanwhile, the Oklahoma City Thunder have the Lakers. There's a good chance they win that game because the Lakers are freaking terrible.
And the Lakers, not that it matters because they sucked with these 3 guys anyway. Right. But at least tonight, I think they're sitting out LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook, and I can't imagine that's not the case for the last game of the season as well.
Yeah, there's no reason for the Lakers to play any of their stars because nothing's happening anymore this season. So good chance the Thunder win and the Pistons lose, and that kind of locks us up into the bottom 3. Now, if we fall into the 4th spot, teams 4 and 5 have the same percentage as well. It's 11.5% versus 14% for teams 1, 2, and 3. So a little drop off, not that bad. After that, it gets worse. It gets to 9.5 and then 7, and then it gets really bad. So luckily, we are not going to have that problem because we are going to be in the bottom 5 at the very least. So we're going to have that higher percentage. But again, we've seen ping pong balls go very funny ways before. So doesn't guarantee anything just because you have one of the worst 3 records in the NBA.
No, and even, the bottom 3 records, what it helps with too is trying to guarantee your spot in the top 5. Right. Where if, we talked about it's kind of like a 3-team race. So though, it helps you get at least a higher pick, even if it's not number 1, you would assume, unless you just get totally screwed. But if that happens, we'll be on here to yell about it.
Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a what?